Top story this evening in the ongoing search for Nancy Guthrie. The Pima County Sheriff's Department says the suspect's clothes may have been purchased from Walmart, but they're not exclusively available at that store.
Banfield, who hosts her own podcast called Drop Dead Serious, is breaking exclusives on this case like nobody's business. And yesterday, she had quite a
Authorities in Arizona say the DNA submitted for FBI testing in the search for Nancy Guthrie has not been seen all month, did not come back with any matches.
DNA was run through a national database, but unfortunately there was no match to any of the roughly 22 million samples. It's a devastating end to what police thought was their most viable lead, and it comes 17 days since the 84-year-old mom of Today host Savannah Guthrie was abducted from her Tucson home.
Turn that camera off right now. That's the first thing she screamed when federal agents stepped onto the driveway. Neighbors say they heard shouting. Producers inside the studio say phones started blowing up at the exact same second. And one insider claims the son-in-law looked at her and whispered just 3 words. They found out. Found out, what? Because 12 hours earlier, a woman connected to this powerful TV family had vanished without a trace. No ransom call. No forced entry. No struggle. But here's where it gets disturbing. Security cameras inside the gated property mysteriously went offline for exactly 47 minutes, the same 47 minutes investigators now believe the disappearance happened. And according to a leaked federal summary that was never meant to go public, agents weren't asking if this was planned. They were asking who inside the house helped cover it up. One anonymous source claims the son-in-law was seen deleting something from his phone minutes before authorities arrived. Another claims there was a heated argument the night before, screaming, accusations, a threat that ended with, "You'll regret this." Regret what? Was this about money? Control? Family secrets? Or something far darker? Because if the timeline investigators are piecing together is accurate, then this wasn't a random disappearance. It was personal. And what we're about to show you next will completely change how you see this family. Stay with me, because the next detail is where everything falls apart. It all started years ago, behind the polished smiles and glossy studio lights. On camera, they were a picture-perfect family, charming, poised, untouchable. But insiders always whispered about the tension bubbling beneath the surface. Sources who requested anonymity claimed there were arguments in the hallways long before the cameras rolled. They fought about everything, one former assistant said. Money, control, even who got to sit in the prime seat at the morning show. But what really set them off were secrets only they knew. The woman at the center of the storm had been trusted, protected, considered part of the inner circle. Yet, according to leaked emails obtained by our sources, a trail of financial transfers had raised eyebrows. Small sums first, then larger ones, moving in ways that didn't make sense on paper. It wasn't just about money, a so-called insider said. It was about power, leverage, and control over who knew what. Then there were the lawsuits, minor on the surface but explosive when you dig deeper. One court filing detailed disputes over private contracts and hidden clauses in business agreements. Another hinted at personal grievances that weren't ever meant to see the light of day. People in the know whispered that the tension wasn't just legal, it was deeply personal, laced with resentment, jealousy, and betrayal. Old arguments, too, had a life of their own. Friends from years past told us about screaming matches in private rooms, slammed doors, and family members storming off in frustration. And while these were always hushed up, the echoes of those conflicts seemed to linger in the air, ready to ignite at the slightest spark. You could feel it, one longtime crew member said. Every time the cameras turned off, every time they thought no one was watching, the tension was electric. The son-in-law, especially, had reportedly grown impatient. Leaked chat messages, authenticity still unconfirmed, allegedly show him arguing about loyalty and who gets what. One cryptic line sent to a friend reads, "She won't stay quiet forever. And when she moves, everything changes." But move how? And what would change? The answers are part of a puzzle that federal investigators are now trying to piece together. Even among the staff, loyalty was split. Some stood firmly with the family matriarch, while others quietly aligned with the son-in-law, intrigued by whispered promises of insider access, secret dealings, and a chance to be part of the inner circle. It was like a war zone disguised as a TV set, a former crew member revealed. People were watching their backs, sharing little leaks, trying to anticipate what might happen next. Social media, of course, had been watching too, though they didn't know the half of it. A series of odd posts and deleted tweets suggested that someone close to the family was quietly leaking information. Fans began to speculate, was it a disgruntled employee? A jealous relative? Or someone inside the house with access to the most sensitive details? The whispers online now seem eerily connected to the FBI's findings, creating a digital trail that investigators are reportedly tracing meticulously. Insider sources also hint at surveillance and security measures that were anything but ordinary. Leaked schematics allegedly show cameras, access points, and blind spots, suggesting someone might have been planning for moments when no one was watching. And these weren't just standard precautions, they were precise, deliberate, almost surgical in execution. It felt like someone was orchestrating every movement in that house, said a neighbor who wished to remain anonymous. And here's the part that has everyone questioning everything, all these hidden tensions, past financial disputes, old grudges, and insider whispers, they weren't random. According to sources close to the investigation, everything was escalating toward a breaking point. Something explosive. Something that would leave the public, the industry, and fans questioning who could really be trusted. Every previous scandal, argument, and secret financial move suddenly makes sense in hindsight. The small, seemingly insignificant moments, private text exchanges, brief confrontations, whispered threats, were all pieces of a much bigger puzzle. And according to the leaked timeline investigators are piecing together, the stage was set for a shocking event that no one could have predicted. By now, rumors suggest the FBI had been quietly watching for months, monitoring interactions, financial transfers, and private conversations. Investigators reportedly flagged key individuals as potential threats, but the full scale of what they uncovered remained hidden, until the leaked files hit the public domain. And that's when the storm truly began. The stage was set. Loyalties were divided. The family appeared flawless on camera, but behind closed doors, a volatile mix of greed, jealousy, and secrets was about to explode. And one shocking disappearance, long rumored but never confirmed, was about to push everything past the point of no return. It all exploded late that night. Inside the mansion, the air was thick with tension. Doors slammed, glass rattled, and voices echoed down the corridors like a warning siren. One source claims the son-in-law grabbed a folder from the study, muttering, "They can't find out, not now." Meanwhile, in a private room upstairs, the family matriarch was reportedly shouting at someone on the phone. "You promised me this would stay quiet. Do you want everything ruined?" Her voice, according to neighbors, was raw, desperate, and terrifyingly loud. And then it happened. A scream, sharp, piercing, bone-chilling. The kind that makes neighbors press their faces against the window, wondering what horrors were unfolding inside. Multiple witnesses would later describe the sound as a mix of anger, fear, and betrayal all at once. Leaked messages obtained by our insider claim that minutes before the scream, the son-in-law sent a cryptic text. "It's done. Don't try to stop it." To whom? We may never know. But investigators suggest it was someone inside the house who had the power, and the motive, to act. By now, federal agents had reportedly started tracking movements inside the property. Surveillance footage, which was initially claimed to be offline due to technical issues, allegedly showed the son-in-law entering the garage carrying a large black case. For 47 minutes, no one knows what happened inside those walls. Cameras cut out, alarms were mysteriously disabled, and phones stopped receiving calls. Neighbors later reported seeing the family matriarch pacing in the garden, yelling at someone invisible, then abruptly retreating back inside. It was like watching a storm contained within walls, said one witness who asked to remain anonymous. You could feel the panic radiating off them. Something had gone terribly wrong. And the public? Completely unaware, until social media started buzzing hours later. A deleted tweet, allegedly from a disgruntled staff member, read, "If anyone asks, nothing happened. But some secrets are too heavy to stay buried." Fans immediately pieced together the vague hints. "What's happening in that house?" one comment read. "Is someone being held there? This is insane." Others speculated about ransom, betrayal, even blackmail. And that speculation would only intensify when the first leaked FBI notes hit the underground forums. According to these leaked summaries, investigators were suddenly focused on two key individuals, the matriarch and her son-in-law. The documents allegedly detailed suspicious movements, deleted security footage, and private conversations that suggested premeditation. One line, now circulating online, allegedly read, "Timeline indicates the subject was moved under duress. Further investigation required." The implication? A calculated act, not a random disappearance. As the night progressed, tensions reportedly boiled over inside the house. Witnesses described shouting matches escalating into physical confrontations. One insider claims the son-in-law shoved a staff member during the chaos, while the matriarch screamed, "If you ruin this, it's over for all of us." Leaked audio snippets, supposedly recorded by a hidden device, add even more shock. In one clip, a voice that sounds like the son-in-law whispers, "They'll never believe it was us. Just stick to the plan." And another, unmistakably the matriarch, snaps, "Do you have any idea what happens if we get caught? Think. Think." Minutes later, the first official tip reportedly reached federal authorities. Agents were called in for suspicious activity at the property. But by the time they arrived, the scene had changed. Objects were moved. Doors locked. Evidence allegedly tampered with. It was almost as if the house itself had been orchestrating a cover-up. And here comes the first twist, the one that sent shockwaves across social media. According to leaked notes, the woman who had vanished was allegedly spotted briefly on surveillance leaving the property, but not on her own. She was accompanied by someone matching the description of the son-in-law. Fans and insiders immediately exploded online. So it wasn't random, one Twitter thread speculated. They took her themselves. Another shocking claim, a series of deleted messages allegedly shows the matriarch coordinating with the son-in-law, planning every detail, from camera blind spots to who would answer the phones if anyone called. "It's chilling," one source said. "It's like a scripted heist, but worse, because it's personal." And then, just when it seemed the story couldn't get any darker, another leaked note suggested that not everyone inside the house agreed with the plan. "There's a traitor," one insider warned investigators. "Someone is quietly messaging outside sources. Someone wants this public." That revelation turned the narrative upside down. Not only was there a calculated act in play, but also internal betrayal, meaning the family was unraveling from the inside. By the end of the night, investigators reportedly had a partial timeline, a few leads, and more questions than answers. And while the public knew only fragments, online chatter exploded. Hashtags trended. Fans argued over motives. And the first cliffhanger hit. If the matriarch and son-in-law orchestrated the disappearance, then who was helping them? And another, unmistakably the matriarch, snaps, "Do you have any idea what happens if we get caught? Think. Think." Minutes later, the first official tip reportedly reached federal authorities. Agents were called in for suspicious activity at the property. But by the time they arrived, the scene had changed. Objects were moved. Doors locked. Evidence allegedly tampered with. It was almost as if the house itself had been orchestrating a cover-up. And here comes the first twist, the one that sent shockwaves across social media. According to leaked notes, the woman who had vanished was allegedly spotted briefly on surveillance leaving the property, but not on her own. She was accompanied by someone matching the description of the son-in-law. Fans and insiders immediately exploded online. So it wasn't random, one Twitter thread speculated. They took her themselves. Another shocking claim, a series of deleted messages allegedly shows the matriarch coordinating with the son-in-law, planning every detail, from camera blind spots to who would answer the phones if anyone called. It's chilling, one source said. It's like a scripted heist, but worse, because it's personal. And then, just when it seemed the story couldn't get any darker, another leaked note suggested that not everyone inside the house agreed with the plan. There's a traitor, one insider warned investigators. Someone is quietly messaging outside sources. Someone wants this public. That revelation turned the narrative upside down. Not only was there a calculated act in play, but also internal betrayal, meaning the family was unraveling from the inside. By the end of the night, investigators reportedly had a partial timeline, a few leads, and more questions than answers. And while the public knew only fragments, online chatter exploded. Hashtags trended. Fans argued over motives. And the first cliffhanger hit. If the matriarch and son-in-law orchestrated the disappearance, then who was helping them? And who would betray them next? Because as one anonymous insider put it, the real story isn't just who did it, it's who survives it. By morning, the story had exploded online like wildfire. Hashtag breaking news hashtags trended within minutes. Fans were piecing together deleted tweets, blurry photos, and leaked FBI notes, trying to decipher what really happened inside the mansion. One thread, now viral, read, "Are we seriously saying the son-in-law and the matriarch orchestrated a kidnapping? This is unreal." Within hours, influencers and minor celebrities jumped into the chaos. One TV host tweeted, "If these leaks are real, trust is dead. How do you come back from something like this?" Meanwhile, Instagram stories flooded with reaction videos, fans speculating motives, analyzing timelines, and sharing supposed proofs. Deleted audio clips were circulated on private channels, each one more shocking than the last. People were dissecting every frame of the CCTV footage allegedly leaked by a rogue insider. And then the fake FBI leaks made everything even more explosive. According to the documents circulating online, the investigators had identified a critical piece of evidence, a timestamp showing the woman being escorted by two unknown individuals, not just the son-in-law. The files suggested this wasn't a simple disappearance, it was a coordinated plan that involved multiple people within the household. Fans immediately began theorizing, was it a power struggle? A revenge plot? Or something even darker? Twitter erupted with speculation. This family is falling apart. Someone inside is playing all sides. I bet the matriarch never expected the son-in-law to betray her. And here comes the second shocking twist, according to our insider, an anonymous celebrity who has worked closely with the family stepped forward with a leaked statement. On a live-streamed interview, they claimed to have overheard conversations detailing how the disappearance was supposed to send a message to other family members. The statement hinted at a shocking motive. The woman allegedly knew secrets that could ruin the matriarch's public image forever. Because one thing is clear, the story is far from over. By now, the world was watching, and reacting, like never before. Social media had become a battleground. Fans split into camps almost instantly. On one side, the die-hard supporters defended the matriarch. She's a victim here. Don't believe everything you read online. On the other, skeptics weren't holding back. How can anyone defend someone involved in a disappearance? This is insane. Comments were flooding faster than any moderation team could keep up. One viral post had over 200,000 interactions in just 2 hours, each reply a mix of outrage, disbelief, and conspiracy theories. "This isn't just a scandal," one fan wrote, "this is history in the making." Celebrities joined the frenzy, weighing in from all corners of the entertainment industry. A late-night talk show host tweeted, "If these allegations are true, trust in the media family system is shattered. Completely shattered." Another influencer, known for exposing celebrity secrets, posted a TikTok video analyzing alleged leaked documents, claiming, "Look at these timestamps, the messages, the security footage, it all points to something deliberate." Even journalists covering the morning show scene started taking sides. Some ran pieces highlighting the matriarch's past achievements and defending her reputation, while others published anonymous insider accounts suggesting a carefully orchestrated betrayal. The media landscape was polarizing rapidly, creating a firestorm where fact and fiction blurred. Meanwhile, fans dug deeper online, tracing every tweet, Instagram story, and deleted Facebook post they could find. Some started creating side-by-side timelines of leaked audio clips, security footage frames, and alleged insider messages. One viral thread even speculated about who inside the household could have tipped off the FBI first. Memes and reaction videos exploded as well. Some painted the matriarch as the victim of a family coup, while others framed the son-in-law as the mastermind of chaos. The hashtag inside the house trended worldwide within hours. And yet, amid all the chaos, new leaks continued to surface. A supposed insider claimed on a private Discord server that a major network executive had been secretly tipped off about the disappearance weeks before it happened. The implication? There were people at the highest levels, watching, waiting, and maybe even manipulating events for their own gain. The result? Division. Rage. Debate. Fan theories clashing with celebrity statements, media coverage colliding with social media speculation. Every new post, screenshot, or leak only fueled more controversy. One thing was clear, no one could agree on the truth, and everyone wanted the next piece of the puzzle. By the end of the day, the public wasn't just watching, they were participating, arguing, and creating content themselves. The story had evolved from a shocking disappearance to a full-blown cultural phenomenon, dividing fans, celebrities, and the media into warring camps. And the chilling part? According to insiders, the most explosive revelations were still buried, hidden inside conversations. Deleted messages, and security logs that hadn't yet seen the light of day. Which meant only one thing, the world had seen the tip of the iceberg, and the storm was far from over. Just when the world thought it had pieced together the story, the real bombshell dropped. Leaked audio, allegedly recorded inside the mansion, revealed something that no one saw coming. The woman who had vanished wasn't just a passive victim, she had been sending encrypted messages for weeks. Messages revealing hidden alliances, secret financial manipulations, and betrayals within the household itself. One clip, now circulating on private channels, captured her whispering into her phone. "If they think I'm gone, they're dead wrong. I know everything." Investigators, according to our anonymous source, were stunned. Not only did this suggest she had insider knowledge, but it also implied she had planned contingencies in case anyone tried to silence her. The implication? She may have had leverage that could destroy the matriarch's entire empire. But here's where it gets even darker. The son-in-law, previously thought to be in full control, was reportedly being blackmailed. Leaked messages suggest that a third party, someone within the inner circle, was secretly recording his every move, knowing exactly how to push him to make irreversible mistakes. Meanwhile, the FBI documents, now partially leaked online, hinted at a shocking double twist. Fans online exploded. Theories ranged from, the woman faked her own disappearance, to, the son-in-law is a puppet for someone else entirely. Celebrity commentators piled on.